This is exciting, even for me. So one thing I always did was value myself highly. I mean, it's not like I was perfect at it always, but I mean, much of my life, I realized, of course, love other people who are good, who are not doing evil, but also love yourself. And of course, that's going to make you more happy, more healthy, just have a greater life, even just adding that compared to not loving yourself. Now, here's the thing though. While I was valuing myself highly, and I was already doing this for years, and it did, make my life better compared to not valuing myself. And it doesn't mean value yourself, even while you're doing evil. That's different because you're removing your value when you do that. Value goodness and the good part of yourself and yourself too, but that's while you're doing good. That's where the value is. I mean, it's also in the part of you that is neither evil or good. You could kind of say neutral part of you, but it's never in an evil part of you. In fact, there's no true neutrality. It's either you're evil or good. So, I mean, because a person who says they rather be neutral, I mean, they're not going to do evil or good. That could include that you just walk by someone in the street who is screaming for help, but you don't do any good to them. And so the lack of goodness is also evil. You have to care enough about that person to call the cops if there's nothing, to call for help, to do something. Now, if you're truly not able to do anything, if there's nothing you can do, at that point, I mean, at least encourage, tell them think of something, at least try, at least put an effort. And if there's truly nothing you could have done, that in that situation, of course, it's also not your fault. Now, we're talking about actually doing good things, though. When you could do good things, you do good things. And it's that simple. Now, the thing is, I was valuing myself for years, but here's the thing. I didn't know there's even more notches up. I figured there might be, but I thought I saw myself so highly already that I was like, I love myself a lot. I think of myself great. I think of myself it's awesome. I love it. It's part of why I'm happy. Whenever I am happy, I'm not saying that there's no situations in life that make me unhappy. Of course, I've went through depression, suicidal thoughts, and a lot of crazy stuff. But it's whenever I am happy, that's one of the reasons I'm happy. And then there's other reasons too. Of course, I need people to treat me good too. But here's the thing. I didn't know you could take it even more notches up, and I'm going to share that with you today. How I've been able to do that recently. I finally brought it up even higher. As long as you also love other people, you know what I mean? It's like you can't just love yourself and then treat good people horribly. You know what I mean? If they're evil and they're treating you bad or other innocent people bad, that's a different story. But you should at least try to turn them into good people. If you can't turn them into good people, if they're dangerous, physically dangerous or mentally dangerous, and they try to attack you first physically or mentally or other innocent people, that's different. And you just use self-defense. That they made a choice that wasn't your fault and stuff like that. And it's never your fault as long as you're doing good and you try to turn them good. If they at least are not attacking you, you try to turn that evil person good, if it's a safe way, if there's no danger in that situation. Now, I'm saying this to say that here's the other notch of how you think of yourself even more valuably, and that is realizing that things like fairness, goodness, and power itself, they should be normalized in a way where you do them all the time, but not normalized where you think they are mediocre, where they're in the middle. They are actually very valuable. They're highly valuable things. Okay, we're talking about fairness, goodness, and power are golden. You have to treasure them. They're probably even better than gold. You know what I mean? How if there was no fairness in life, what would happen? Okay, it'd be horrible things happening all the time. Now, there is a lot of situations in life that are not fair. Too much of life does have unfairness, too much not fairness. That's what has to fix. That's what has to change in the world. But if they start valuing fairness, and you, of course, value fairness, I always value fairness, and you do it in a way, like people value it in a way where they want it, but they don't realize just how great it is, though, for them to do it for others, and when they receive it too. That is even more valuable than you think. But also goodness and power, positivity and power, these great things that seem like, like an exaggeration, like you're just teaching a children's story. No, it's beyond that. It is this is why there's so much evil people in the world. They want you to think those good things are like something to be embarrassed about, are ridiculous, or something to think of little. Are you kidding me? With goodness, you would have everything you've ever wanted. All those things you desire so much, you would have them. All those things you wish you have, you would have. All those things you want, you would have. All the things you need, you would have. But also all the things you want, you would have. Goodness means everything going good. Goodness encompasses a lot of things. Goodness is everything positive. So everything you want, you would have. And if goodness was manifested at its fullness, then everything everyone would want, they would have. It would be good people getting what they want. And really, it's not goodness if evil people get what they want. It would be that the evil become good, and then the ones that were already good and the newly turned good people would get what they want. So in that kind of way, everyone would get what they want. That's goodness really fulfilling and being manifested. Real power is not when you use abilities to do evil, by the way. That's why you include power there. But power, power in a fair way and a positive way. Real power is when you actually use your abilities to make prosperity, goodness, benefits for yourself and for all other beings as well. So now realizing that it should be normalized when you do it all the time, but not normalized where it's mediocre. It should be valued super highly, and yourself that highly when you're not doing evil. When you're doing good, when you're doing marvelous stuff, you value yourself highly. And so that while you do good, great, and marvelous things, you value yourself super highly, and all the other people too, you have to value, who are doing good things. And your life will be just that much more marvelous.